You won't believe the outrageous demand our HOA president, Margaret Hensley, made when she forced everyone in Willow Creek to keep their garage doors open all day. I stood my ground, called my brother-in-law, the chief of police, and uncovered a scandal that rocked our neighborhood. What we found in her office flipped everything upside down. Would you risk a $250 daily fine to protect your home? The bright yellow notice stared back at me, its words sinking in like a bad dream. I read it 4 times to confirm. Mandatory. All garage doors must remain open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily, effective immediately. Non-compliance results in a $250 daily fine. My blood boiled as I stormed inside, slamming the notice on the kitchen counter. 6 years in Willow Creek, and the HOA had pulled some stunts, but this was insanity. My phone buzzed. Lisa from next door. "Did you see this?" she hissed, her voice shaking. "It's got to be illegal." I agreed, picturing my tools and bike exposed to anyone passing by. Margaret Hensley, our HOA president, was a control freak with a sharp bob and a fake smile. She'd find old Mr. Carter for a non-approved mailbox and harass the Lopez family over a slightly faded fence. Now, she was parading down the street, clipboard in hand, her smug grin daring anyone to defy her. When she rang my doorbell, I was ready. "Good morning," she chirped, her tone dripping with condescension. "Just ensuring you got the garage door notice." I crossed my arms. "I did, and it's a security nightmare." Her eyes narrowed. "The board voted to curb illegal rentals in garages. This ensures zoning compliance. So everyone's punished for a few rule breakers?" I shot back. She snapped. "Open your garage by 7 a.m. tomorrow or pay the fine." Then strutted off. I called my brother-in-law, Tom, the chief of police. "This is practically inviting theft," he said after I read him the notice. "HOAs can't create unsafe conditions. Send it over." That night, neighbors scrambled, hiding valuables or rigging up cameras. Clara, a retired attorney from down the block, stopped by. "This rule's unenforceable," she said, flipping through the HOA bylaws. "Security policies need a 2/3 community vote." But fighting Margaret meant costly legal battles that most couldn't afford. At 7 a.m., garage doors creaked open across Willow Creek, exposing lawnmowers, sports gear, and family heirlooms. Mine stayed shut. By 7:20, Margaret appeared with her lackey, Greg, who wouldn't meet my eyes. "You're in violation," she barked, scribbling on her clipboard. "The bylaws require a vote for this," I countered. Her face reddened. "We had an emergency board meeting. Fines start today." As they left, a black SUV crawled by, the driver eyeing open garages. My stomach churned. By noon, our neighborhood's social media group, Shut the Gates, exploded with 60 members. My post about the SUV got shared like wildfire. That evening, I hosted Clara, Lisa, and others at my house. We formed the Garage Defense Committee. "Why now?" Lisa, a paralegal, mused. "Margaret's been president forever." Clara pointed to the HOA financials I'd dug up. "Landscaping costs jumped from $10,000 to $35,000 this year, all to Hensley Solutions, her husband's firm." The doorbell rang. It was Greg, sweating. "I shouldn't be here," he whispered. "The rule's not about rentals. Margaret's sister runs a security company. They're scouting homes for a system they'll pitch next month." My jaw hit the floor. "That's fraud," he added, then bolted. The next day, a $250 fine notice was taped to my mailbox. 7 other houses kept their doors closed, too. I called Tom. "She's using the HOA for profit," I said. "I'm coming by," he replied. Outside, Margaret was screaming at Mr. Lopez, blocking his garage door as he tried to close it after spotting a loiterer. "Rules are rules," she yelled. I recorded it, my hands trembling. Then it happened. The Wilsons, who'd complied, came home to find their garage stripped, tools, bikes, gone. Police swarmed, shaking their heads. Margaret appeared, denying blame. Theft happens, she insisted. Not when we can lock our homes? I snapped, neighbors nodding. Tom arrived the next morning in his chief's uniform, badge gleaming. We drove to the HOA office, a converted bungalow. Margaret sat at her desk, oblivious. Chief Daniels here for Margaret Hensley, Tom announced. Her smirk faded when she saw me. I'm investigating thefts linked to your policy, Tom said. Creating unsafe conditions makes the HOA liable. Margaret scoffed. Our policies are internal. I spotted files on her desk. Payments to Hensley Solutions, $50,000 for groundskeeping, and a contract for Safeguard Systems, her sister's company, at the same address. Interesting finances, I said. She covered them, fuming. Our lawyer will handle this. Tom slid a document across her desk. Suspend the policy pending investigation. As she protested, her assistant, Amy, dropped a file stack, spilling Safeguard brochures. Next month's rollout? I asked. Amy froze. Margaret ended the meeting, but the damage was done. That afternoon, I called a community meeting. 80 residents packed the library. Clara dismantled the policy's legality. The Wilsons shared their loss, and I hinted at financial corruption. We demanded an audit and new elections. Margaret's allies squirmed. The next morning, Greg warned me, Margaret's board had slapped a lien on my house for disruption. I called Tom and Clara. A reporter, Sarah, Tom's friend, arrived with a camera as Margaret approached with legal papers. Channel 9 News, Sarah called. Comment on the thefts tied to your policy? Margaret froze. Or the $80,000 to your husband's company? Sarah pressed. Margaret fled. The story aired, exposing the scam. That night, a USB appeared in my mailbox with footage of Margaret and her sister plotting to create security needs for a safeguard. I sent it to Tom, Clara, and Sarah. Margaret confronted me the next day. Name your price, she hissed. Resign and reverse your policies, I said. I have video proof. She paled. At the noon meeting, chaos erupted. Police cars swarmed my house, claiming stolen goods had been traced there. They found a drill from the Wilsons' theft in my garage. Planted! I shouted, showing my camera footage of Margaret's husband sneaking in at 2 a.m. The officers took the tape. Clara revealed property records. Margaret's family bought foreclosed homes via shell companies, triggered by HOA fines. The crowd roared. At the community center, 90 households faced Margaret's board. Sarah's crew filmed. I played the USB footage. Tom announced warrants for Hensley Solutions bank records. Officers cuffed Margaret and her husband as she screamed. This isn't over! The policy was scrapped, and the board was replaced. But Margaret sued me, Clara, and the Wilsons for $3 million, claiming defamation. Sarah's expose linked her to scams in other towns, rallying national support. #HOA tyranny trended. At Margaret's hearing, residents lined the courthouse in protest. Amy testified about forged records and targeted fines. Margaret got 7 years for fraud and embezzlement. We rewrote the bylaws, cut dues, and formed a mediation committee. A year later, Willow Creek threw a block party. Kids played, gardens bloomed, and garage doors stayed closed. A new family moved into Margaret's old house. Welcome them, I told Lisa. As treasurer, I spoke. We fought for our doors, but opened our hearts to the community. What do you think? Was our fight worth it? Share your thoughts below. Have you faced HOA overreach? Let's debate. When does community control cross the line? Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more drama-packed stories.